Okay, everyone. Okay, so I've got a whole new setup this time with my camera for my phone for our charmed scope. Welcome, Anne. Hello. I saw that you messaged me right after your scope, but I didn't listen to it because I was starting this one. Hey, Mandy Jean. So glad that you're going to be here today. Lady, how are you? Hey, Linz Breslin, you've been waiting all morning. Awesome. I know. I've been, you guys, I was super. Which side does this go on? You guys, look what I made. I made this little sticker. Here. Is this where the hearts pop up? What does it say? Can you read that? It says hearts on fire. XOXO Alexis. So here, hopefully you guys can see that to remind you guys to tap for those hearts because you guys know I love the hearts. The hearts are like like you said, a rating, like I think I've talked to you about this before. Other side? Oh, okay, other side. Sorry. It's backwards on me. Is that right? And you're right, this stuff's backwards. Okay, so you guys can see it now? Or I'll just hold it up like this. Anywho, yeah, so this is a little bit backwards on our end, but hearts on fire. Awesome, you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. So yeah, this morning I went on Instagram. I've been wanting to do a Periscope all week. But unfortunately I just had things that were, coming up. Thank you so much for saying I look cute and gray. I just got this top too. I just ordered a couple of tops, online and they just came in yesterday. I'm like loving them. So yeah, I put up an Instagram today that I want to say that like I wanted to get on here and do a charmed scope. Thank you, Amanda Jean. Got to take advice from fashionista. I'm totally not a fashionista, you guys. Like my like entrepreneurial work at home wardrobe is, it's like, it sucks. It really does. I'm like not the best at dressing myself, really. I'm like a leggings and like tunic girl, which is exactly what I'm wearing right now. So, thank you guys so much for coming. Okay, sorry, I'm getting like off in my head what I'm supposed to be talking about. That's right. Okay, so I've been wanting to do a charmed scope all week. Haven't been able to, just haven't had the time. It's really just been a little bit crazy this week because I had to finish my last workbook for empire building, which I did just put out to my empire builders. So if I have anyone on the call right now that is an empire builder, your fifth and final workbook is up in the group, but the workbook is not yet up for sale on my shop. I'll get to that later. So that's just an update for you guys. But I really want to do scope all week. Like, I love this medium. I think it's awesome. And I just wanted to jump on to say hello to you guys. So I asked you guys what you wanted me to talk about. And I got a lot of different ideas. But today I've decided that I'm going to talk about finding confidence to start your business, run your business, do your side hustle and kill it entrepreneurially in your business. Because I get asked a lot about confidence. Because confidence is not something I have a problem with. So I realize this is one of those situations where, I can't say that I really fully experience, I don't experience a lot of fear for my business. And I think that this is because I've had a tremendous amount of self-confidence since I was small. And I pretty much picked up, growing up, I picked up that confidence wasn't one of those things like you didn't have to be awesome to have confidence, that confidence was something you had to choose. Okay. So you have to choose to be confident. So today I just wanted to talk about like some tips, just some ways to think about being more confident in your business, because let's be honest, in life, not just in business, you are going to constantly butt heads with people. People are constantly going to be telling you how to do this, how to do that, don't do this, do that. It's not just something that happens to entrepreneurs, but when it comes to being an entrepreneur, it's like you definitely need that suit of armor, like in order to progress with your business, because you're going to see the things that other people are doing. You're going to compare yourself. You are going to question things that you're doing always. And that's something that I do still feel. I do still feel anticipation when I launch something new. For example, right before I launched that planner, the Productivity and Planning Masterclass, I know some people on this call have their turquoise ticket to my Productivity and Planner Masterclass. If you guys want to join my masterclass, I've got here this, I don't know if you guys can read this, www.strangecharm.com/shop, and look for live events if you want to join my masterclass. But even before launching this, And I knew it was something you guys wanted. People, I know Mandy Jean, you're so excited. Can't wait. I can't wait for this event. It's going to be awesome, you guys. But even though people had asked me for it and wanted me to do a class like this, I was still like, should I do it? Are really people really going to like it? Is it going to be worth it? Like, you know, all these questions run through your mind. But I inevitably just had to say, yes, do it. And I have people in my life like Miss Anne Samoylov who just tell me, Alexis, just do it. Like, just do it, jump in, do it. Because honestly, the thing that you have to realize when it comes to trying new things, starting a business, all this stuff in life is that, yeah, you could do it and you could fail. But for the most part, most things that people do, even if you fail, you mess up, you don't do as well as you expected, it literally is not the end of the world. People really have like the shortest attention span. So most people aren't going to notice when you mess up. So, you know, this is one of the things and the philosophies that I use for myself. It's like, just do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and on to the next. You know what I mean? It's the hard part is just having the confidence to say, I'm going to do it. And most people, like, think about the people that you know in your life who have dreams and goals, and everyone says they wish they want to do this and they want to do that. Most people never execute on anything. Just most people go throughout their lives and don't have the confidence to execute. And it really is a sad thing, because I personally believe that if you just get over that hump and just do it, that success will come from doing it. The only way to completely fail at something is to not to do it. Like, if you guys heard that quote before, like, the only way to fail at something is not to try. Because usually when you try at something and you give it like a good effort, it does work out. So anyway, I feel like I've just gone off on a whole, even take small steps. I mean, moving forward and progressing forward, even if it's in teeny little bits, is still making progress. And it's still moving you forward, and it's still getting you closer. Every day you're closer to your goal. Yes, Rome was not built in a day or in an egg, depending on how you how you say that. Anyone ever heard that? Rome wasn't built in an egg. When I was little, that's what I used to say. I'm like, I had no clue it was Rome wasn't built in a day. So silly. Anyway, so I want to give you guys some things to think about. I know I just gave you some things to think about, but I wrote a few things down. One of the things that was really powerful for me in my whole like self-confidence journey, and I heard this quote a long time ago in school. If you lack confidence, fake it and it will come. Basically, fake it till you make it. No one knows what's going on in your head and in your own mind. So if you pretend to be confident, right? You act like you're a confident person. Do the things you think a confident version of yourself. I'm going to put this down, you guys. You guys know to put the hearts on fire. If you act confident, no one can tell the difference, right? Because most people aren't confident. It is just the truth of the matter. Most people struggle with self-confidence issues in one form or another. So faking it is actually going to project to other people that you are confident. And you know what's going to end up happening? People are going to start treating you the way they would treat a confident person. If you struggle with confidence and you've ever been in a situation where you felt like you were taken advantage of because you weren't as confident, you know what the example that comes to mind for me always is when you're going to like buy a new car and the salesman like sees the scaredness in your face. They know you're like worried about what price you're going to get. And, you know, they know you don't necessarily know everything about cars. You know, they see you. A lot of times I'll go to a dealership or I'll go to like my local place to like get something fixed for my car. And people will see a woman and they will say, this woman doesn't know what she's talking about. They see me walk in with my geek glasses and my hot pink lipstick and my designer bag. And they think, this woman, we're going to take her for a ride. And they will say to me, this actually happened to me once. I went to a place to get my car looked at, and they told me that there was something wrong with it. It was the, I forget what it's called, the band that goes around the engine. I forget what the part was called. They assumed I didn't know what I was talking about and told me it needed to be replaced. It was like a several $100 repair. And I said to them, I'm like, oh, okay, can you show it to me? And they were like, yeah, but you're not going to know. They like popped the trunk, showed it to me, and I like point blank said to them, I'm like, hi, yeah, I actually know this part in a car. My dad happens to be a mechanic and works on cars, and me and my dad, since I was like 16, have been working on restoring cars, old cars. So I happen to know that belt is looks brand new. So I don't know what you're trying to say to me. And what happens? Their jaw drops out. Like this woman, this little 5'1" woman with her designer bag looks like a total, you know, looking a little bit bougie, right? She knows about cars. I can't pull one over on her. You know what I mean? But it's like people try to take advantage of you they can sense when you don't know things. And then when you turn around and like snap back at them, I don't know, it's just like the best feeling in the world, right? So people, if you've ever been in a situation where you felt like you were taken advantage of because you didn't have confidence, all you need to do is turn that confidence on, right? Because people don't know what's on the inside. They don't know what you know. They can judge you from the outside and they can say one thing. But all you have to do is, you're nervous to talk to the camera, Linz. We'll get to that in a second. But, you know, this is, you know, something where you really have the control in this situation. People don't know you, and you can project. I really think that every day is like a new start. It's a new opportunity for you to like say, I'm going to be that girl today. I'm going to be the confident girl today, or the confident woman or the confident man if we've got any guys on here. So you just have to act as if you are that person, and it will come. It is the fake it till you make it mentality. So that's like something to think about, right? The next thing that I wanted to kind of like words of wisdom to impart about confidence is, you know, everyone's heard this, haters gonna hate. I actually hate the haters gonna hate line, because I feel like it makes you, it kind of gives you the feeling that like you're a victim in the world. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of people face resistance. You face resistance to new things that you're trying to do for your business, for your life. You know, how many of you out there are moms, have had a baby, and then a mother that was more like, you know, who's had a baby before you decided to tell you everything that you're doing right or wrong? Like, this is something that happens all the time because people aren't haters. They literally are trying to help you, normally for one of three reasons, because people really do want to be helpful. Like, I really do believe people want to be helpful. Even people that you would say are maybe haters or like trolls in comments, I really think for the most part, people are trying to help. So I think when you get that resistance from people, it is, three things that I think they're trying to do. Out of love, they're trying to protect you, right? That's maybe one reason someone would give you resistance. You know, I didn't actually have this happen to me, but it wouldn't be uncommon. I was actually surprised that when I told everyone I was leaving my job to start a business, that anybody wasn't like, for me personally in my life, I guess people knew me enough that they knew it was going to work out for me. But I was surprised that people weren't saying, well, wait a minute, you have this great job at this Fortune 50 company. You make a great income. You have a company car. You get all these benefits and bonuses and all this stuff. Like, why would you give that up? You know, a lot of times friends and family who don't know or unsure, they want to protect you, and out of love, they will give you that resistance. So you have to know where it's coming from. Is it coming from a place of love? That's one place that I really do think resistance comes from with haters who aren't really haters. The next place I think it comes from is really concern, right? So people hear about something new. They don't know about like what the online, you know, business world is like. They don't know about something. And so out of concern for you, you know, friends may say to you, are you sure that's a good idea? Like, it doesn't sound like a good idea to me, but it's really coming from a place of concern. And then the third thing that I think when you get this haters gonna hate is that people are giving you resistance out of, just to be completely honest, ignorance. So people do not know that it's possible for you to make an income online. So they don't believe that they don't know that it's possible. So out of ignorance, they tell you, oh, don't do this. Don't start this business. And like I said, this doesn't just apply to businesses or like starting like a blog or a YouTube channel, getting this sort of resistance from people. It really applies to so many things in life. Don't get that haircut. I don't know if you should buy that outfit. I don't know if you should invest in that car or that house. I don't know if it's time for you. Parents say this to their kids a lot. I don't know if it's time for you to move out on your own. You know, resistance really comes from people trying to be helpful. So you have to really understand that people aren't being haters per se. And I would say like in 95% of the instances, people are not being haters. They are just concerned for you because they love you. They want to concern. They have your best interests in heart, and they're concerned about your choice, or they're ignorant about your choice. So they don't really know. So reframe whenever you actually hit resistance like that, and it makes you question your own confidence in yourself. Because when you reframe it thinking, my parents just have my best interest at heart. They're not sure if, this is the best time for me to move out of the house, or for me to switch jobs or switch careers, or if I should leave my job and start my own business, or if I should leave my job and take a lower paying job doing something that I love. Like, this is something that always stops people, I think, in life, is that you have a job in one field and you realize that your passion is in something else, and maybe that other passion, you're going to have to start at a lower place because you don't have the experience. And a lot of times people are like, why would you do that? Why would you give up a good career or a good job to do something that you love? Because it's going to mean that you're going to get, it's not that they don't want you to do what you love. It's that they're concerned because you might have to start off at a lower rung, and you've maybe already built your career and things like that. These are all just examples, and you can take this philosophy and apply it to your own scenario. But just remember that, it's not that haters are going to hate. It's that people really do love you. They're concerned for you, or they are ignorant. Unfortunately, and I hate using that word because when I ever hear the word ignorant, it's like a dirty word, but to me, ignorant really just means that they don't know something. They don't know. And their mind maybe isn't open enough to see the possibility. So if that's something, if the hater's going to hate thing is something that's stopping you from being confident, just wipe that out of your mind. Reframe whenever people give you resistance, because it's coming from a good place. For real, it is. And so, yeah, the last thing about confidence is really that it's all about putting yourself out there to get new opportunities. It's just it always is funny to me when I see like a successful business person, or successful at anything, a person who's successful at anything, a successful athlete, a successful singer, or an actor, or someone that is notable for something. Doesn't have to be like notable in like the world stage, but even someone that like in your life, in your community, that's notable person. It takes a lot of confidence to put yourself out there. But like I said, confidence is a choice. Like, you choose to do it. And there's nothing about that person that has the confidence that is better or worse than you. In most cases, extraordinary people were ordinary people who decided to make extraordinary choices. And one amazing extraordinary choice that you can make is to be confident and have confidence yourself. Everyone, you guys have probably seen interviews with actresses, models, beautiful men and women who are successful, and they talk about resistance that they've had in their life. And even the most beautiful supermodel, has moments where she feels like, does this look good on me? Am I pretty enough? Like, everyone questions it. It's all relative. So there is no reason why you cannot project the best version of yourself and the most confident version of yourself, because the truth of the matter is that this is it. Like, this is all I get. Like, all Alexis gets is this. This is my one body I get. This is my one life, if you believe in YOLO and you're not a Buddhist. Like, this is it. This is the one shot. So there's no reason why you can't make the most of it. You know what I mean? We as humans and as women, it's so funny because I'm going to be talking about this as we're mostly women here, I believe. Women have amazing ways of being able to make great things out of little things. Like, women have that ability more so, I think, than men do. I think sometimes that men's scope, am I going to rap again? Maybe. Let's see what happens. Women more so than men, I really do believe, have the ability to take something little and make it big. Like, women run households. They take a small budget, and they stretch that budget. They take a small dinner party and make it a beautiful event. Women have the ability to take small little things and make them way bigger. Like, I really think that women have this amazing ability to really transform things. So it's really, take that one thing that you've got, which is yourself, your life, and make it more extravagant. Reach out to more people. Do not be afraid. Don't hold yourself back, because there is no reason to hold back. If you're afraid of failing as a reason to hold back, guess what? That's a terrible reason to hold back, because failure, I don't even think failure is ever the last word on a subject. Like, if you do something and you mess it up or it doesn't work, you go back to the drawing board and you figure out, okay, what is it that I did wrong that time so that this time I don't make that mistake? They say that an expert the definition, like the unofficial definition of expert, I forget who it was that said this, is a person who has made all the possible mistakes in a very narrow field. Because you only learn from failure and and you only grow from failure. So it really isn't failure. Like I said, it's not failure unless you give up. Unless you don't do it, unless you give up. And for a lot of different people, if like me, I follow a lot of different business people, very notable business coaches and, business people in the world, very successful human beings who will tell you that they failed multiple times on their way to success, and that their biggest success happened immediately after the deepest low, the biggest failure that they had hit. So you really just have to push through failure. So just push through it. So those are my keep moving forward. Absolutely. As Dory says, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, right? You guys seen Finding Nemo? I love that show. Dory's like the cutest. Just keep moving forward. Just keep swimming, right? Because this is it. This is all you get, is your one life, your one chance, your one opportunity to rock it. So Lynn's Breslin had a question about like how to overcome the stage fright in front of the camera. This is something that I haven't personally really experienced. Again, I haven't really experienced this personally, because for me, I look at the camera and I'm like, it's just a camera. It doesn't scare me. It's just a camera, right? Where I think I get tripped up is pressing the publish button, right? So that can be scary. But again, it's one of those situations where just press the button and see what happens. If the world lights a flame, right, and the sky falls down and the sun explodes, which it's not going to happen, then okay, maybe this was a bad choice. But those things don't happen. Like, there is no permanent failure. You might as well just, I pretend I'm talking to my bestie. Exactly. And you have to remember this, Linz. Whatever it is that you are saying to the camera, whatever you're trying to share, and this goes beyond the camera, this goes into writing a blog post, creating a product, teaching an e-course, all these different things. Even if you're not 100% perfect, it doesn't matter. You want to know why? Because going into it, or you should know going into it, that you are not going to please 100% of people, because you can't, right? But the important thing is, the reason why we do this, why we sit in front of the camera, and why we write these blog posts, and why we create products and run businesses and do the things we love, is to connect with those few special people who really do need to hear what you have to say. You never know when something that you say in a video, or you write in a blog post, or you say to a friend, or advice that you might give to a client, you never know when you're going to actually give someone the thing they need. And a lot of different spiritual practitioners will say that, like, people come in and out of your life on purpose. It's like you are meant to meet this person. You are meant to have this conversation. I know that a lot of people can't see that. It is a view that I do tend to have. I do believe, just because I've seen so many amazing things happen with just like an accident. Like you turned left and not right, and then you met this person that changed your life. You pressed play on a video that had an interesting title, and you watched it and it changed your life. Or you pressed publish, and then you met someone who was really, really key and beneficial to your life. Do not let issues of confidence stop you from helping people, because that's why we do all this stuff. We connect, we help people. You make the world better one person at a time, not a million people at a time. You do it one person at a time. So what's Mandy Jean saying here? Practice in front of the camera and watch it. Toastmasters. I've heard of Toastmasters. I think Anne, didn't you say you wanted to do Toastmasters? These are there's resources out there to help you improve your public speaking if this is something that is hard for you. I do realize that, I learned this in school, you guys. I learned this, I think, in sociology. Did you guys know that the number one fear people have is public speaking? The number one fear. And people they've done research or studies or whatever, where people basically say that they would prefer to die than to give a public speech. Are you crazy? The public speech speech only lasts as long as the speech lasts, and then you drop the mic and you're out. Death is like forever unless you're a Buddhist and you come back. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that this is something that it's just so impermanent. All of this around us is so impermanent. So don't worry so much about necessarily the way you look to people or the way you're coming off to people. Just you do you, and reach out to people and give people your opinions, give them the skills and the knowledge that you have, and share. I've done speeches in college and did well. Exactly. I mean, some people feel like giving a speech in front of a room of people is less daunting than a video of you going out on YouTube. But I mean, either way, you're still talking to people, sharing your knowledge. And for the most part, whatever you do online, although people see it and it's archived and, all that stuff that people say, there's very few instances where it's going to come back and bite you. If you made a bad video, and people didn't like it, you can delete it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not permanent, really. And honestly, other people really don't care that much. A lot of people are not to say that people are self-absorbed, but people really they're not worried about the way you look in front of the camera. They're just trying to get information from you. And either you give them the information they needed in your video or you didn't. So I hope that helps. Does anyone else have any specific questions or circumstances? I know, Mandy Jean, you remember I watched your video the other day that you were talking about some support from people in your life and needing support from people in your life. Would you mind if I extrapolated on that for the video for people? Because I think it's something that's important for people to hear. Yes. You don't mind if I talk about it? Go for it. Okay, so Mandy Jean made this video the other day, and she was talking about basically how she feels like something that I also have, that I feel the same way. And I know some other female entrepreneurs who have husbands and families, and they also feel I think very similarly. And Mandy's situation was that she felt like, although she has a wonderful husband, don't we all? She didn't feel like he was supporting her entrepreneurial efforts as much as she'd wished that he would. And mostly a lot of this, again, going back to what we already talked about, it comes out of love and concern and ignorance, this doubt that you get from your significant other. And this is something that I also get. Anne's raising her hand. It's when you go from having a job and you guys have two incomes to taking that leap and starting that side hustle. It's entrepreneurial ambition is something that you either are born with it or you're not. You are either destined to be an entrepreneur or you're not. There are no accidental entrepreneurs in this world. Being an entrepreneur is so hard and so deliberate. No one just falls into it. So if you happen to be married to someone who is not an entrepreneur, which is most of us, because most people aren't entrepreneurs, and the chances are that your spouse, significant other, friends and family immediate friends and family are not going to be entrepreneurial in spirit. You have to just remember that it's coming from a place of love, and there are other places online, and that's the eventual outcome that Mandy was expressing in her video, was that she had found a group of people. She had found me, she found Anne, Hillary Rubin, she found all these great teachers and coaches online, these girl bosses that have communities online, and she found her tribe, right? She found her tribe. So, if you feel like you are getting these doubts and resistance from family members, you're not alone, right? You're not alone. My husband still is always in awe of the fact that I make money and he doesn't get it. And he helps me make these things. He helps me sometimes design, he helps me lay out my workbooks. He still doesn't get that people buy it. He's like, I don't get that people buy it, and I'm like, but you don't get it because it's not for you. You know what I mean? It's not for you, so you don't get it. It's really important to find that community online is basically what I'm trying to say. And, got to give your spouses a pass. Unless they've got this itch, this entrepreneurial itch, it's just not something they're going to understand. So it's really important that you have conviction yourself and you find those other people in a community that are going to be supportive and be there for you. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they don't care. It's just a difference that they have in opinion. And who would be like, yes, feel free to leave your job we have enough money. For most people, we don't have enough money. So it's a scary, scary thing. But there are things that you can do to mitigate that risk. If you're making that sort of leap. And I think, Mandy Jean, you and I need to talk about this. And I don't know if I've talked or shared my story with you guys, how I was able to make the leap that I made. But maybe that is a story for another scope as well. How the story of how I actually prepared, because I was the breadwinner. When I left my job, I was actually the one making more money. And so the breadwinner losing their, that income, although I made it up in 6 months, I got it back. It was scary because, Mike and I did have a contingency. Where did I get my laptop's keyboard cover? Decalgirl.com. It's a custom order. I uploaded a striped pattern to their website, and they do custom orders. So upload a striped pattern to their website, and you too can have a keyboard cover like that. And it's on the back of my laptop as well. Okay, you guys, so if there's no other questions, I'm going to talk to you guys later. I hope you guys loved this. Please make sure to share. I didn't say this, but if you guys haven't already shared, feel free to go ahead and swipe left, or when this is done, you'll get an option to share this. Just make sure you're sharing this stuff, you guys, because obviously I want to help as many people as possible. I want to make these as engaging as possible, and I want to make sure that we're helping the maximum number of folks. So thank you guys to everyone who came. Hey, Tori, thank you guys so much. Northwest Charm, thank you so much, Anne. Miss Piper, it's so glad to see you guys on the Periscope today, and I will see you guys soon. I got a video coming up on Sunday. I think you guys are going to love that. Just FYI, might have something to do with my planner, so if you like planners, don't miss that. So I will see you guys later, you guys. Bye-bye!